Hello, everybody. Welcome to Penn Station for a very exciting event.
I'm Heather Worthington. I'm a children's book author who just published a book, and I'm here at Penn Station for the first book signing and reading to a class of first graders. I wrote this story, Miles of Smiles, the story of Roxey, the Long Island Railroad dog, because I wanted to get kids excited about reading and history. The story took place about 100 years ago. It's a story of a real dog, although it's historical fiction. It tells about this dog who strayed into the Garden City train station and became a station dog, but he wouldn't stay put. Instead, he kept getting on the trains, and finally, because he made so many friends and traveled the Long Island Railroad to so many places, the Long Island Railroad President, Ralph Peters, decided to make him the official mascot. And he had lots of adventures, and one thing he did was he met President Teddy Roosevelt on the train, and Teddy Roosevelt allowed him to stay in his private car and let him ride. They rode together to Oyster Bay. The people buying the books were really excited, and they were really, it was really special about who the books were going to and telling me who they were and their connection of why they wanted to get the book. So I tried to put that in there too. It was really very personal, and I didn't feel like I was just signing a bunch of books. I felt it was really meaningful for a lot of people, and especially me.
I bought 7 books. It's a wonderful story. I'm going to take the books to cousins throughout the United States and Pakistan. We have family that's spread throughout the world.
I'd also like now to have a special welcome for Mrs. Barbara Keefe and her first grade class from Trinity Regional School in East Northport, the winners of our school safety program.
This day is very enlightening. We were given the opportunity to fill out a questionnaire and study safety rules for the Long Island Railroad. We studied hard, we sent in the paperwork, and sure enough, we were winners. They've been excited since February. Every day we talk about it. They've practiced what to say. They know what to do.
You ready? This is the safety quiz question of today. What do you do when you enter and exit the train?
Today at Penn Station, we even had a Roxey look-alike.
The Long Island Railroad contacted us. They needed a look-alike, and we had Lemon at the shelter, a recent rescue, and he just looked so much like Roxey. Lemon was rescued, and he is up for adoption. He's about 8 months old, and he's at Little Shelter in East Northport. He loves the kids. All the kids were playing with him, and the people here, he just loved everybody. He was just an instant hit. He's a wonderful dog. He'd make a great family dog for someone.
The agent spoke softly to him. I once had a dog like you, afraid of thunderstorms. If nobody claims you, then you can be my new station dog. I'll call you Roxey, after my old dog. The one thing that I think that is really going to stick with me the most today at Penn Station is the look on those kids' faces with their uniforms and their caps, and then that dog, Lemon, who's the Roxey for the day, came over and right during while I was reading the book. And, they were so engaged, these kids, and, that's exciting for me because I really haven't had a story time yet.
My favorite part of the story is when they waved goodbye with Teddy Roosevelt and Roxey.
The story was terrific. We went over the story, we talked about it, but when they actually heard it, their eyes were glued on the author and the book. It was wonderful.
He was trying to get into the railroad house because he didn't like lightning. Then it sees this red house and it's barking, and then the man lets the dog in. That's my favorite part. My favorite part is when he slept on the bed. That was Teddy Roosevelt's bed, and that was his train, and he saw the pass, and he let him sleep on the bed.
Roxey is buried in Merrick. He's buried there because he made friends with, he had lots of special friends besides the people who wore the Long Island Railroad uniform. He had friends in, maybe a postmaster or whatever, but the one was a teacher, and her name was Elsa Hess, and she was from Merrick. The reason this whole thing started was because I was reading some railroad history books. And I just kind of, was interested. I did have another idea for a story. So I read Freeman Hubbard's book, Railroad Avenue, which is a really great book. It was written in 1945, and he had a whole chapter on rail dogs. And it was really interesting to hear about all these dogs in all different parts of the country. But then there was this one on Long Island, and it just stuck with me as, I really need to write that story because I thought it was a great story for kids and a great story for Long Islanders, New Yorkers.
I can attest myself how much I enjoyed the story. And I recognized immediately that Roxy's story showed the traits of humanity and dedication that really continue on the Long Island Railroad today among our employees and customers. And we hope Roxy's story will inspire excitement about train travel amongst a whole new generation of customers.